Hey everybody, welcome back. James here again with you. And first off, I want to say that to everybody and my viewers and stuff that my demeanor in the last video was not the best. So sorry for that. But you know, it is the fact of the video was that accuracy downrange in wind, drift, and I left that key detail out because I assumed that the viewers watched my video right before that. So again, I'm sorry that I come off that way. I'm usually not like that. I was like right on the line. But again, sorry about that. That's my problem. But anyway, to move on, so I'm going to be slowing down the airgun vids. As much as I love shooting, I shoot just about every day, and got to shoot today actually. So, and this is what I wanted to go over. Pretty much shot my Umrex gauntlet for a couple hours today. A couple shooting videos I got, and tried 2 different pellets just to see what it liked, because I was shooting within the grain range of the twist of my calculations that I came up with. And the pellet that I was using right out of the bat, I mean, it was literally hole on hole. And then, so anyways, 50 yards, got a screenshot of the wind for anybody that wants to see what I was shooting in. I always shoot in the wind, so it doesn't matter to me again. But I got my target board here for all my pellets that I was getting dialed in today to see what they were going to do. Like I said, 2 different pellets, but one really stood out over the other one. And so I'm going to show you guys the shooting clip of that, and I'll measure the group, and that was pretty much the average group size throughout this whole shot group with that pellet. So check it out. So, you're probably wondering, you've seen those groups, why there was like one, out from the group or whatever, even though it was a super tight group at 50 yards and with those pellets. The Gamo Hunter 14 or 15.43. Again, according to my calculations, this is within the twist rate of grain for my barrel, which it's according to my calculations, it's 99% optimized for. But anyway, so my groups averaged, all of them with this pellet averaged about 0.17 of an inch, which is really good for 50 yards. And I noticed that the quality of these pellets isn't the best, which I will say compared to other pellets that I've shot, but you cannot complain. I mean, you've seen the results. I'm not making this stuff up. I mean, I'm not going to complain for $5 a tin of 250 when they're shooting just as good as any of my other pellets that I've ever tried in this gun, untuned. I am going to do a little bit of tuning to this pellet to get it to shoot even better. And how do I know that I can get it to shoot better? Well, if you notice in the groups, there's a vertical spread, and that happened to me and my chief in the past couple videos. And what that come down to was I was shooting bags, and I'll show you my setup. So I was using bags, and basically it was the Caldwell tack driver bag in the front and just the back bag in the back of the stock. And I was getting the gun shouldered and shooting. Well, the only reason I found this out was because, you know, again, I shot enough pellets to get the barrel seasoned. That's why I can't stress enough, if you're going to try a new pellet, never shot this before, and I did run it through the chronograph if you guys are interested. This is the best performing pellet through the chronograph and through this barrel because of the twist rate matched. So if you don't believe me, numbers don't lie. I can't lie about a chronograph. This pellet kept up with 14.3 Crossman, and I chronographed that at about 12 inches from the muzzle, or 12 inches from the end of the shroud here, and the barrel is offset about 4 to 5 inches in the shroud. So I can't lie about that. I can't lie about numbers. These pellets shoot just as fast as the Crossman 14.3 Dome. So at the muzzle, at the exact muzzle of the barrel itself, these are shooting between 850 and 860. So again, I was shooting 12 inches away though, so I was getting around 850. So what that means was, you know, the weight is the best optimized. These pellets are the weight of them pellets are the best optimized for this twist rate of this gun. Your gun will really shine chronograph and accuracy, downrange, group size, accuracy. I mean both of them. Accuracy, let me clarify, accuracy and group size will be the best, again, once you get the best pellet for the barrel itself. But to get back on topic here, the main reason why those groups were, you know, there's one here, one there, and then there's a cluster. This is why. If you've never shot a QB style gun, you see this right here, the breech? This is aluminum on this gun. Inside here you can see your bolt handle, and your hammer spring are back in here. So every time you pull the bolt handle back, you cock that hammer spring and cock the hammer. And you know, when you shoot, that hammer goes forward from the spring and hits your valve and releases the air. That way your pellet goes out the barrel. Well, I don't know if my eyes are that good, but I could see the pellet when it was landing on target. I could see the pellet in flight with my naked eye, even though I'm handicapped. A lot of people don't know that my right eye, my dominant eye that I used to shoot with, I have astigmatism, so my vision is blurry most of the time, even though I have contacts to correct that. So anyway, I could see the pellet flying down range at 50 yards, and I could watch it. And I was noticing every time I pulled the trigger, if that shot was out of the group, I could see that pellet going off from the group. Don't ask me how, I could just see it. So if you guys can see your pellets too, let me know. Hopefully I'm not the only one. And here, I'll show you why. Show you why it's happening. So even if you have your gun shouldered perfectly, which I do every time I shoot, I take my gun out of my shoulder, reload, and then put it back in my shoulder to get the perfect consistent. Or you can do it that way, but I don't. So whatever works for you. But anyway, here's the reason why this gun recoils the way it does. And that's the reason why those shots are outside that group, is because PCP guns, depending on the actual firing mechanism have recoil. Now, that doesn't mean they're not accurate, but I'm just saying they do have a recoil. And when I get shouldered up here like this and the bag's up here and I shoot, the vertical spread is the reason why, if I hold the gun centered as possible and then pull the trigger, the vertical spread is the barrel doing the vertical whip. And then if the shot is outside the group, as shown, the gun either got turned to my shoulder or on the bag itself, it slipped somewhere or pinched. So, if you have a PCP gun that has a different firing mechanism, you know, a lot smoother than a coil spring, because that's what this is. A lot of people don't know that. And these guns, you know, if you've never taken one apart or never looked at parts, there is a coil spring in here. And it's not, you know, a big coil spring by any means, but it's enough to give you a little vibration in the gun. And if you have your gun centered in your shoulder like I did in this video, and I was still getting a couple shots out of the group, it was because the vibrations went down the gun and either vertical whipped the barrel or the gun moved. So I'm going to work with this gun even more, and I stated earlier that I'm going to cut back on my airgun videos. I have a few more planned that I'm going to do, and I'm going to get these tuned, and I'm going to take these out to 100 yards. So I thought I had the gun pretty much, you know, done with and ready to go with the air arms pellets, the Crossman pellets. Didn't work out. It was because when this gun shot those pellets out to a certain distance, they shot great. But farther distance, like 75 yards or farther, 75 yards, I got pretty decent groups with the Crossman pellets. 0.3 of an inch or so last time I shot those, a 5-shot group. And at 100 yards, I was shooting out in the open field just to see what the pellets do, just to look down my scope, because again, I said I could see the pellet. What it was doing past about 75, 80 yards, it started doing this. It wasn't because of the wind. It was because of this barrel either not stable or over-stabilizing them, because of the pellet weight not matching the barrel. So the pellet was unstabilized, though, at that distance. And people who shoot those Crossman Premiers, I've had people comment telling me that they're not that accurate past a certain distance, and that's the reason why. If you watch the pellet and it starts to follow the twist rate instead of spinning, that means it's yawing and it's off its center axis, and it's starting to follow the twist rate of the barrel instead of, or starting to follow the twist of the barrel instead of actually spinning in a straight, like a football, to your target. And, you know, each pellet is different. That's why if you find the most optimized pellet weight and pellet, depending on the shape, these are dome actually, dome, and bore diameter and everything, like I stated before, many videos before, it's like I'm repeating myself, that these guns, especially the Umarex Gauntlet, is choked to 5.4 millimeters. I measured that with a dial caliber or digital caliber. So I know that's why this gun is shooting great with almost every pellet at closer ranges. But if you want to move out to 100 yards or something like that, and you know you're not getting the best groups that you want to get, you know you have to be realistic. You know, MOA at least 1 inch or something. You know, but I've shot the air arms pellets before at 100 yards and watched them on target. And everybody jokes about my pizza boxes, but that's what I use. I put a crosshair dead center. I mark it up with a Sharpie marker and put my crosshairs on it and do the best I can at 100 yards with my eyesight. Again, I said it's partially handicapped, but it doesn't seem to bother me too much. I've seen the air arms pellets fly down range, and they land in a clockwise position because they're not stable enough, or they didn't get stable enough from the barrel. So what that means is downrange, they start from spinning, they start to go like this at a certain distance. So if you follow a clock, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, the the AirgÜns pellets were landed at 9 o'clock and 3 o'clock. I mean, it's just common sense, really. But anyways, guys, like I said, hope you enjoy this video. And again, I apologize for the last video. I didn't want to come off like it seemed like I did, because I'm not that type of person. It's just, you know, I get challenged, it seems like, every day, which I care less, really. I'm not going to let that bother me anymore. Like I said, I'm going to slow down on the airgun videos because I got other stuff for the channel. This is not just an airgun channel. I do everything. That's why it's called Outdoors, not Airguns. But anyways, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video, got something out of it. Again, PCP guns, depending on the firing mechanism, do have recoil. So make sure every time you shoot, you get that butt pad, no matter if you're using bags or not, centered as possible. Because if you don't, basically what's happening is the gun's twitching. When you pull that trigger, it's following that coil in here. The vibrations off the coil, so whether it twitches left, right, or if you even have it centered like I had today pretty much the whole time, you're going to have a vertical whip off your barrel. And what that's causing is because you have the gun centered, those vibrations cannot go anywhere. They can only go vertical. So, and I'm going to be tuning that out of the gun. So anyways, I hope this video helps a lot of you out there. The same thing goes with the Chief. That's why it's like that, because it had both of these guns are made almost the exact same way, except this one's steel, and it has a different twist rate. So, and it has a barrel band. So, free floated versus non-free floated, steel versus aluminum. You know, it is what it is. But all right, guys, I'm done yakking. I appreciate you watching. Hope you enjoyed the video as always. Hope you got something out of it. And please comment below and let me know if you try this with your gun, if you have an Umarex or a Chief. Hopefully you can notice it. Like I said, I can see it with the naked eye, as always. Appreciate you watching, and I'm out of here. Thanks again.